Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, Climbinator 1978 or 1978, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Today I will be doing a review on a film I've literally just watched. It's a very special review, let's just put it like that. Now, this film is a film that I found to be a really bizarre experience. Now, I like bizarre experiences in film, don't get me wrong. I like a good movie. Tell me one person who doesn't. I also like a bad film that is so bad it's good. But I have just watched War of the Worlds from 2021, made by the Asylum. This is not to be confused with War of the Worlds that came out last year via Amazon Prime, which I have not seen because I don't own Amazon Prime, and I wish Amazon Prime would release their films on DVD, because not everyone owns Amazon Prime. So, I have seen a review about the Amazon Prime War of the Worlds with Ice Cube, and it looks so bad that it's actually funny, and I'll get to that in my review of this film, which stars the late Tom Sizemore, so rest in peace. He's the only good thing about this movie when it comes to the acting. The rest of it's fucking terrible. And I know Tom Sizemore had his health issues when he was making this, or at least it's rather clear that he did when you watch this film, but he still gives it his all despite the terrible screenplay. But all the other actors are just bloody awful in this godforsaken piece of crap. I mean, how difficult is it to do a new version of War of the Worlds? How difficult is it? But then it's the Asylum. They can't make a good film to save their life. I mean, literally, if someone went into their offices and said, look, I've got a good idea to make an action movie or a horror slasher movie, yeah? We don't have to make it big budget. We can make it small, tiny budget even, yeah? Yeah? They'll find a way to screw it up. Because War of the Worlds, you don't necessarily have to make it big budget. No. You can have a story be focused on a small group of people who are trying to escape the alien invasion. Heck, you don't even necessarily need to see the aliens on screen. You can just see the lasers and the tentacles. You don't need to see the main bodies of the aliens, not even their spacecrafts. That, in a way, would make it even more intriguing for an experience. For a low-budget film, at least. But no. They tried to make it like it's Big Brother. Didn't work. They thought they could stand toe-to-toe with the Tom Cruise version. Didn't work. Because right from the word go, there is repetition galore in the screenplay. Like, the opening scene, right, starts off where it's a complete rip-off of Superman 4. but there's no Superman. Literally, it's a bunch of astronauts on a satellite station doing some astronauty stuff, and they come across a strange reading on their radars. And of course, they get vaporized. So there's some Superman 4 references, because in Superman 4 you got 3 astronauts and one of them's on the exterior, just like the astronaut in this godforsaken piece of crap. And they get a disturbance outside. The astronaut outside gets, in Superman 4, he gets, dislodged from the space station, and in War of the Worlds he gets vaporized, from what I recall. But what I noticed was proper repetition was the amount of times they say the word visual between them. Yep. I swear to God, it was about 9 times between the characters. You could just say about 3 times. Hello, yeah, this is such and such outside the space station. I've got a strange radar visual coming up on my little monitor inside my helmet. Yeah, we got strange visual reading as well. Yes, Houston, are you picking up the strange visual reading? Done. Done. At most, you should say it 4 times, because you could have Houston reply back saying, yep, strange visual readings being picked up here. But no, it was about 9. So that's when I thought, right, okay, the shit's hit the fan. I am begging them to have at least a watchable film after this. No, it then cuts to our 2 main leads of a film whose names I never even bothered to remember. And they have this overlong 10-minute scene where it's about science. Suppose science, but it's probably just made up guff. Exposition. And guess what? It gets repetitive, because in the next scene, I swear to God, one of those characters then goes on to repeat the same guff to another character. And if you think it stops there, no. This becomes the root of the screenplay throughout the rest of the film. It's plot point being repeated to from one scene to another, so you get character repeating same plot point narrative to another character to another character. You get other characters repeating the same dialogue guff. It's just... Oh, this film broke me. You broke me already, and we're only in the first 8 weeks of 2026. If this is not the worst version of War of the Worlds, I dread to think what Ice Cube's version is like. But from what I have seen of it, at least that version looks like it's so bad it's funny, because Ice Cube is trying so hard to act seriously, and yet the plot points around his character are just so batshit crazy that it just does not work, from what I've seen in reviews. This, however, is a version that could be made as a 10-minute YouTube film, spiraled out to nearly an hour and a half. So it should be called War of the Worlds Plot Filler Edition. What I'm saying to you always, I've just pretty much filled out what the story is like. It is dire, the characters are dire, and one of them is a bloke well into his 50s. He acts at sometimes like Matthew Lillard does in Scream. And he has some of the most memeable facial expressions, like when he shouts out "run" to people, he goes, "Run!" I'm like, dude, please. Oh, God. Or when he shouts out, "No!" he goes, "No!" I'm like, fuck's sake. It's like watching Jim Carrey and someone like, I'm just broke from this film. I'm just broke. I'm broken. I can't take it anymore. I used to like some Asylum films, but this is a whole new grade of terrible film on my channel. It's not Dungeon or Doom level, because that's reserved for films that are so bad they're funny. War of the Worlds 2021 edition. I think I'm going to have to give it a whole new grade, because it's just plot filler after plot filler after plot filler, and the film is an hour and 22 minutes. It feels like it's nearly 2 hours, and yet the thing is, in most of these sci-fi films that are usually around this type of length, even ones